And it is the time of year parents and their teenagers start looking towards the summer. A big choice needs to be made for many young teenagers. Is it time for that first job? For some advice, we turn to Parenting Power's Julie Freedman Smith for one of her regular visits. And I know Ted is listening from the other room because he has a daughter sort of transitioning into this summer thing. How early should you be looking, or could you be looking at your first job? I think I was in grade 9, so 14.
Yeah, that's how old I was for my first job. I was an elf.
Yeah, yeah, right? Is that about right? Is 13
you know,
young,
12
or?
to 14 is what the law says. You can't hire kids under 12. But our kids can start doing chores around the house and being involved in helping family members earlier than that.
Okay.
So it's great for kids to be involved in taking responsibility and feeling like they're a part of something, that they have a purpose in contributing.
Right.
When we talk about working outside of the house, yeah, you can start legally at 12. Not very many places will be hiring 12-year-olds probably, and it's limited. But there are lots of things kids can do around the neighborhood for family and friends: pet sitting, house sitting, yard work, helping a new mom. Lots of ways that kids can get started.
Now, sort of leading up to that, you mentioned chores around the house. I mean, is that a good way to prepare kids for some outside work?
It can be, and what's important when your child is starting to build that resume to go out and do jobs is they aren't going to build a resume of experience, but they can build a resume of skills.
Right.
So it's a great conversation to sit down with your child and say, so let's brainstorm on your skills. We know that you know how to clean, or we know that you have been responsible for doing this, this, and this. And so you start where you are. What skills do you have? And then how can you use those skills to move forward?
Okay, so we see some visuals here. You know, this is a sort of might be a typical first job. When do you kind of know that they are ready to take on a job like that? What do they have to have demonstrated to you, I suppose?
Well, it's really about who's hiring them that they have to demonstrate it to, right? So different families will have different expectations. A lot of the times kids want to be spending more money, and as parents we are not made of gold. So if you need that extra money, then you need to earn it.
Okay.
So you know, that's a great way, and sometimes other people can teach your kids a whole lot more than you can about responsibility and those kinds of things. So it's a great learning opportunity.
And what do you think about balance, creating balance with your family, creating balance with school, moving past a summer position, but moving? Yeah, I kept my part-time job all through high school. Right,
and I think that those are great questions. As a family, you need to think about how much time. Are grades more important than work, or is house? You know, what are the priorities in your child's life, and how far away are they working, and how are they getting there? So is your child taking transit? Are you the one that's going to be driving them? All of those things are important in figuring that out. And also what you want them to do with the money. Are you requiring them to put some of it away to savings, some of it away to charity? You know, how is that money going to be used? Get that figured out first so that it helps you to make those decisions.
Do you have any sort of advice for parents who might be trying to work with the money part of it? Because I think a lot of kids, you know, they just want to have spending money. Right. But so that's going to be a family's decision, and it probably could start with allowance. I know it has started in our family with allowance from when we started. So a certain portion of everything that our kids earn goes to long-term savings, a certain portion goes to charity. They're going to have some of it taken off for taxes or things as well. So it's just good to talk about it and have those conversations up front, as opposed to, what, you just bought yourself that? You weren't supposed to use that money. Make it part of the planning. So, but a good way to sort of ease into those greater conversations as well in terms of responsibility fiscally and otherwise.
Oh, definitely. That's where they learn it, right? They can't just automatically get it when they walk out the door. Or they're going to make mistakes at some point, so let's let them make the mistakes early on when it doesn't really matter, as opposed to when they're on their own and some of us have made those mistakes and it hurts a lot.
Some of us continue to make those mistakes, and they should probably start looking right now, I guess.
You're young, you've got time.
I don't know. Julie Freedman Smith from Parenting Power. Links on our website, parentingpower.ca, and check it out on breakfasttelevision.ca. Lovely to see you. Thank you for that. Dave, you're